In the heart of Lagos, a city full of noise and life, stood a massive church building where miracles happen. But the real miracle was how Pastor Michael built such a big church in just 5 years. Pastor Michael was a 40-year-old man with a smooth tongue and a way of making people believe anything he said. Every Sunday, people filled the church, shouting, clapping, and waiting for the man of God to perform his usual miracles. He would touch a blind man, and suddenly the man could see. He would blow air on a crippled woman, and she would jump up and start running. People screamed, "Glory be to God." But behind the scenes, everything was fake. The so-called blind man was a church worker who removed his glasses and pretended not to see. The crippled woman, she came from far away and was perfectly fine before the service. Pastor Michael paid them to act sick and get healed. Yet, every Sunday, his followers gave him more money, tithes, offerings, and special seed sowing. "Give to the Lord and he will bless you," he would shout. But the money never went to the Lord. It went into Pastor Michael's pocket. One thing about the church was that nobody ever saw a Bible on the altar. Pastor Michael never read from it. Instead, he would close his eyes, lift his hands, and start speaking in deep, dramatic tones. "My children, God has spoken to me this morning," he said. "Tell my people that their enemies must die." And the congregation would shout, "Amen, fire." His messages were always about enemies, money, and miracles, never about holiness, kindness, or true faith. But the people loved it. They were desperate for miracles. Some wanted jobs, some wanted healing, some wanted their enemies to fall down and die. And Pastor Michael promised them everything as long as they gave money. "Bring 100,000 naira for special deliverance. The amount you bring would determine how big your miracles would be," he once announced. A poor woman, desperate for healing, borrowed money to bring to the altar. But nothing changed in her life. Yet she kept believing, because Pastor Michael was a master at deception. Pastor Michael was not just a fake preacher, he was also a womanizer. The church choir was full of young, beautiful ladies, and he took special interest in them. One of them, Sister Joy, was only 20. She was soft-spoken, obedient, and foolishly believed Pastor Michael was truly a man of God. One evening after choir practice, Pastor Michael called her to his office. "Sister Joy," he said with a charming smile, "the Lord revealed something to me about you." She gasped. "Really, Pastor?" "Yes," he said, moving closer. "He showed me that you have a special calling, but first, you must pass through spiritual cleansing." "What kind of cleansing?" she asked innocently. Pastor Michael sighed. "My daughter, you ask too many questions. Do you doubt your pastor?" Her face fell. "No, sir, never." "Good," he said, placing his hand on her shoulder. "Come to my house tonight. My wife will not be home. I will cleanse you properly." She hesitated. "But, Pastor, isn't that wrong?" He frowned. "Who are you to question the Lord's anointed? Do you want to remain in bondage?" Sister Joy was confused, but because she was raised to never question a man of God, she obeyed. That night, she went to his house, and that night, he destroyed her innocence. Pastor Michael's wife, Mommy Faith, was no fool. She had been married to him for 15 years, and she knew exactly the kind of man he was. At first, she believed in him. When he started his church, she thought he was truly called by God. But as time went on, she began to see things that disturbed her. She saw how he never prayed at home, how he counted church money like a businessman, and how he kept bringing different choir girls into his office for private prayers. She also noticed that he never used the Bible in his sermons. Whenever she asked, he would say, "My dear, the Spirit speaks directly to me. I don't need the Bible." One evening, as she was arranging his clothes, she found a small black notebook in his wardrobe. Curious, she opened it. Inside, she saw a list of names, mostly women's names. Next to each name were dates, amount of money, and short notes like Sister Joy, 20,000 naira, cleansing prayer complete. Dickness Rita, 100,000 naira, special midnight deliverance. Sister Lovett, 30,000 naira, prophetic direction. Mommy Faith's hands began to shake. Her husband was not just a fake pastor. He was a womanizer and a fraud. That night, when he returned home, she confronted him. "Michael, what is this?" she asked, holding up the notebook. Pastor Michael's face changed immediately. "Where did you get that?" "In your wardrobe," she shouted. "What kind of deliverance are you doing with these women?" He snatched the book from her. "You will not question me. I am the man of this house, and I am the anointed of God." Mommy Faith laughed bitterly. "Anointed? You mean a fake prophet who sleeps with his church members and collects their money?" Pastor Michael's eyes darkened. He raised his hand to slap her, but she stepped back. "If you touch me, I will expose you," she warned. He lowered his hand and took a deep breath. "Listen, woman, you have two options. Stay silent and enjoy the money, or open your mouth and leave this house." Tears filled her eyes. She had nowhere to go. Her whole life was built around the church. If she left, she would have nothing. So she made a painful decision. She chose to keep quiet. Pastor Michael continued his fake miracles, false prophecies, and secret affairs. But in every story, there comes a day when the truth must come out. That day came when Sister Joy became pregnant. She had been avoiding church for weeks, and people were starting to ask questions. When Mommy Faith heard the rumors, she immediately knew the truth. One Sunday morning, while the church was full, Sister Joy's mother burst into the service, dragging her daughter along. "Pastor Michael," the woman shouted, pointing a finger at him. "You are a wicked man. You ruined my daughter's life." Gasps filled the church. The choir stopped singing. The ushers froze. Pastor Michael forced a smile. "Sister, what are you talking about?" "You know exactly what I am talking about," the woman screamed. "My daughter is pregnant and she told me everything. You are the father." The whole church exploded in shock. People turned to look at Sister Joy, who was standing there, shaking with fear. Mommy Faith, who had been silent for too long, finally spoke up. "It's true," she shouted. "This so-called man of God is a fraud. He had been sleeping with choir members, faking miracles, and using church money for himself." The congregation was in chaos. Some people screamed, some started crying, some just sat there, shocked. But then, something happened that nobody expected. One of Pastor Michael's own assistants, Brother Samuel, stood up and confirmed everything. "Pastor Michael pays people to act sick and get healed," he revealed. "I know because I was the one bringing the actors." At that moment, the truth could no longer be hidden. The news spread like wildfire. By evening, the church was empty. People stopped coming. The offering baskets remained dry. Church members who once worshipped Pastor Michael now avoided him like a plague. Some angry members reported him to the police, and he was arrested for fraud. The government seized his church building, and within weeks, his church was no more. As for Mommy Faith, she finally found her freedom. She took her children and started a new life, far away from the lies and deception. And Sister Joy, she gave birth to a baby boy. But Pastor Michael, now a disgraced man, never saw the child. In the end, the fake pastor lost everything: his church, his followers, his family, and his reputation. And that was how the mighty man of God fell. Moral of the story: 1. Not everyone who calls themselves a pastor is truly from God. 2. True men of God preach from the Bible and live holy lives. 3. Be careful of pastors who only talk about money, enemies, and fake miracles.